Welcome back to another episode of Rolling with the Coles. My name is Danny.
What up, though? It's John.
What's the deal?
So we are so happy to have y'all back. This is season 3 of Rolling with the Coles with our special guest host every week, Benar.
I be chilling, man.
What it do, B?
I be chilling.
This is episode 2 of season 3, and we want to encourage y'all to come back and keep watching, keep listening, keep tuning in, and throw us in the group chat. Tell your friends about us. And let us know what y'all think of the episodes by commenting on our social media, or if you're watching this on YouTube, you can, leave some comments in the comment section. Give us a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe, all that, so that we can keep sharing all of this content with the world.
Yeah, no doubt.
For sure. How was y'all day today?
My day was pretty smooth. I teach kids social studies, so it's a lot going on in the world of social studies right now. So
look here.
You're getting all types of questions. Kids say their darndest things, and so just embracing that, and just today was good.
That's
so
probably that's probably a rough time to be.
I don't think it's a rough time. I think it's just it give you a lot to talk about.
Good conversations.
Good conversations, and with an hour, you know what I'm saying, you can kind of get sidetracked, and your whole hour be gone.
I know kids are curious too, so I feel like they ask questions that a lot of adults may not even think about because our minds just be focused on so much on other things. But they are simple, and they just ask a question. You'd be like, "That's a good question, actually," but my mind would not have went there.
Yeah, you just got to be on your toes.
Yeah. But they also, I'm sure, ask them insane.
Oh man, they ask them insane, and they ask a question the conversation be good, and one kid be like, "Mr. Carter, you ever ate red beans and rice?" Like, bro, we're not even talking about that.
You teach middle school though, too.
Yeah,
right?
I teach middle school, so 6th, 7th, 8th grade.
So their attention span be.
Oh my god.
Short.
Oh my god.
I'm sure it's more interesting than when we was in school with social studies. It was just in the book. It was. I feel
like they got more access to information though.
They got more access to information, but I had a really good social studies teacher in middle school. His name was Mr. Jackson.
Is that why you wanted to be a teacher?
You know what? Not why I wanted to be a teacher, but when I became a teacher, that was my measuring stick.
Okay.
Mr. Jackson was he's deceased now, but Mr. Jackson was a very good teacher. He was a EMT who turned into a teacher.
Wow.
So he just always had a wealth of knowledge, and he used to keep it real with us.
He's seen a lot. EMT?
He's seen a lot. He taught me about the paper bag test. Because he was a really light-skinned man, and so he used to tell us the stories about him going to Ferndale with his brother. He could pass the paper bag test, but his brother couldn't. And so that was a big thing. But Mr. Jackson was a really, really good teacher. So if you ever went to Guest Middle School / Bethune, it's on Finkel and Myers.
Bethune-Cookman.
Mr. Robert Jackson.
Mary McLeod Bethune.
Mary McLeod Bethune Academy, baby. That's right. So, yeah, that made... Well, I always liked social studies, but he was a catalyst for that. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. How was your day?
Today was good. I didn't do a lot today. Actually, I think I went out at 12. I left out of my house at 11 o'clock. I was back home at 2:30.
Oh, man.
You had a short day.
Short day.
Who knew?
And then...
Who knew?
Short day, full pay. Who knew?
Short day. Who knew?
One time. I just want
my full money. Then earlier this week I messed around and hurt my foot getting out of the truck. So that definitely means I'm getting old.
Bow leg.
Man.
So you had a paid sick day basically because you hurt your foot. So partially sick day. You know what I'm saying? That's what
I was going to work anyways.
That's what we're gonna deem it as.
So or not, I'm going.
Chalk it up to the sick day.
You got to use your PTO. You know what I'm saying? Without using your PTO.
Look here.
They have PTO this week.
That's what it means to work for yourself. Ain't no PTO.
Ain't no PTO. I get it.
Don't work, don't get paid. Okay? Well, we keep you in our prayers.
For that list. All right. You know how was your day, Danny?
My day was cool. We had an all-company meeting, and Lil Wayne came out, surprised us. We had our guests because they were trying to drop little hints in there leading up to the day. Our guests was Travis Scott. Post Malone was another guest.
Oh.
And it was because they gave us these little clues that was 3 emojis. The emojis was the little cowboy emoji, the globe emoji, and a cactus. So my guess was Travis Scott because Cactus Jack, Astro World. He from Texas, okay? Cowboy, right? where they got Lil Wayne from in that, I'm not quite sure.
I don't either.
Or unless they was trying to purposefully lead us astray so we wouldn't guess the actual artist.
Yeah, because Lil Wayne is I don't think
he's from New Orleans.
He's not a Dallas Cowboys fan. I think he's a Green Bay Packer fan.
He's from New Orleans. He probably should be a Saints fan.
Saints should be.
Yeah, should be. Don't mean that's true. For a while, then he should be a Saints fan.
You know.
But hey, I don't know.
What emojis would you do for Lil Wayne? If somebody asked you to give 3 emojis,
to describe Lil Wayne, I'd probably throw in a guitar because he think he a rock star.
Okay.
Maybe throw in like a little. this is crazy. Little piece of fried chicken, Popeyes, Louisiana.
Okay. Okay.
And then maybe
you want to use the Louisiana Gold
Could do? Okay, we could. Okay, we could.
Okay.
Louisiana, I don't know. My mom went to Louisiana, and then maybe either like a skateboard because he was on his little skater vibe for a minute.
Okay.
Or I don't know.
I'll put a lighter.
Smoke weed.
Yeah. Okay. Or I would put diamonds on there.
Or a flame.
Fireman, because
Hot Boys.
I would think diamonds because of bling bling.
Oh, yeah.
Or money for cash money, young money.
Yep, young money. Yep.
So there's a couple emojis they could have.
Could have put a baby on there.
Could have put a little baby.
WF baby, you know what I'm saying? WF baby.
The win, Weezy.
You feel me? Yeah. So it's a rare thing. That's actually a good game.
That's true.
I'm not good at that.
If you have to use 3 emojis and make somebody guess who you thinking about.
Yeah.
We might have to bring that on one episode. Okay. Y'all don't steal our idea now. And if you do, credit us. Thank you. But yeah, other than that, it was cool. Lil Wayne, like I said, he was cool. Now, I'm not the hugest Wayne fan. I mess with his music, but he was relying on them lyrics a little bit.
Definitely.
He was relying on the lyrics a little bit. We caught him taking a glance at the screen a couple times. One song, he just stood and looked at the screen the whole time I was like, dang, Wayne don't know this one, huh?
But the theory is he don't write his raps, so he probably forgot some of them.
Fair. Yeah. He could have.
That's his theory. He
could have.
He's known for not writing his raps or.
And he forgot a lot of music. I ain't gonna hold. And I've met several artists who are like, look, when I got a catalog, I can't remember every lyric, or you got to jog my memory.
Yeah, because Wayne got it's mixtape. It's like Fastest Wayne.
Yeah.
It's like mixtape Wayne.
Albums.
It's like Hot Boy Wayne. It's like Young Money Wayne.
Album-wise, I think he got 7, or he got more than that. I think.
Well, I think it's 4 Carters.
Yeah.
4 Carters.
Which he's supposed to come out with a 5th this year, is what they saying.
Okay, 4 Carters.
That's the rumor.
Then he got The Block Is Hot. That's an album he did by himself. Then he has 4 Carters. Block Is Hot. 500 Degrees.
I ain't got no help for you because I told you I ain't a huge
500 Degrees. I feel like I'm missing something. He got an album with 2 Chainz. They did like a
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
Caligrove. I think it's 2 of those.
Yeah.
That count.
That's 8 already.
And then he got a Young Money album.
The Young Money album.
Oh yeah, that's 9.
That was with Drake, Nicki, Lloyd, all of them.
So before,
he got a lot of music. Yeah. Plus all the features he's done for people. Because he did a couple features. Like he did. He got a song with Chris Brown. Now I can't think of it.
Oh my God.
Is it Play No Games? I don't wanna play no games.
No, that's Drake. Actually.
No, that's Drake.
Well, he got a lot of stuff.
He got a lot of features, but he did a Chris Brown song today, and that's why I was like, dang, I forgot he got a bunch of features on stuff, and he gonna do his verses from those songs. Because if them songs was hot, why not? People love them.
Man, you know what was crazy?
He got a lot of music.
This is how long Wayne been rapping. I graduated high school in 2008, and on my prom, I was listening to a Wayne song on the way to prom.
I mean, he said today, 30 years, y'all. I've been in this game for 30 years, and I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. Of course, and then he was, saying stuff like, where my day one fans at? I couldn't put my hand up because I was like, day one? Nah, Wayne, you said 30 years. I'm already 30.
You were just born.
That's what I'm saying. I'm already 30. So I can't say day one, but maybe day 29.
I can only imagine Reverend Atkins listening to this a little way.
No, look here. My parents, they know who Wayne is. Could they name any of his music? Absolutely not. Absolutely. And we bless God that they can't. Because that means they've been living right.
Living right. Mighty God.
They've been saved. Okay, at least since I've been around.
No, facts.
You know, they weren't always saved, but in the last 30 years, we blessed the Lord. But yeah, so that was my day. You know, I didn't do much at work actually today, other than go to that meeting.
Go to the meeting.
We learned some, we learned some important business stuff too. So it wasn't just all concert, but
sure.
It wasn't. I just can't tell you because we got publicly traded companies. Anyway. Tried it.
Like, what are you doing? I don't see you doing that.
Hey, I teach the people. Okay? I can't teach them all day. They ain't got time to apply.
That's okay.
If they in my classroom the whole time, when they applying the lessons learned.
That's real.
Okay? All right, y'all. So enough about our day. Today we're talking about fear. And fear obviously comes in multiple, avenues. It could be like fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of the future, fear of making a mistake, or fear of taking a risk. And fear obviously looks different for different people. It may manifest itself in different ways. We're not claiming fear though. We're not saying you should have fear. Absolutely not. We don't believe that you should have fear. However, fear does impact us. It does tend to creep in. Those thoughts tend to cross our mind at times. And so, I'm curious to know for y'all, do y'all have any, situations or stories in your life where maybe fear creeped in and took a little bit of a front seat when, you hope that it took a back seat, but it may have got a little stronger than you imagined?
I think the birth of my daughter, we had a very trying pregnancy.
Yeah.
With my baby girl. And so just that whole time frame, I couldn't show that I had a little fear because I had to be strong for my wife. But there was a couple moments where it got a little real, and I was like, they asked that marvelous question, who would you want to save? And it's just like, oh, okay. And my answer was, you save both. I said both gonna live.
Absolutely.
And then they wanted to change hospitals. It was just a lot. Like, this pregnancy was different than pregnancy of my son. My son was pretty easy compared to this one. I'll say pretty easy compared to this one. But this one was like, you had to have the no limit soldier faith for this one. My wife was in the hospital early twice. The second time, my daughter came early. She was supposed to be born April 28th. She was born March 6th. And so that whole process of going to the hospital, sitting down, ICU, my wife couldn't hold her at first because she was still under, the medication and everything. And so she was like my hand, but now she's a big girl. So,
she is. She walking, talking, taking over the world.
Oh, she definitely is talking. Jesus Christ. Jesus. Don't get me started. So, but yeah, that's the most time when fear kind of crept in, but I had to cast it down.
Yeah.
With much prayer, you know what I'm saying, and just moments of meditation to get it out the way.
Yeah. For sure.
For me, I think fear goes back into maybe my childhood. I had a real strict dad, and I always his thing was, if somebody hits you, whatever, you hit them back. But he didn't play about getting in trouble at school.
Gotcha.
So I allowed a lot of things to pass, people bullying me and just doing all kind of stuff to me in school. And when I got out of school, and my dad passed when I was 6. No, I went out of school. Yeah, my dad died when I was in high school, and I think the fear it turned into anger. I ended up being really I'll be pissed off a lot of I was mad. I was mad at the world at that time, and but I began to channel that, and I didn't allow that to consume me. So now I love the confidence that I have now, and I don't really care what people think about me or what people say about me. For a while, that was another fear. Just I don't want so and so to feel this way about me or this and that. And now I'm just
You reach the level of I can't consume myself with the thoughts of what other people gonna think.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it'll consume your mind. So I'm not having another year like last year when I'm just depressed by everything. I'm just moving on, and that's that.
Okay,
that's fair. I think for me, like, kind of a similar thought of like, for me, it's that like fear of failure, where like there are moments in which maybe I didn't go for things, or I didn't think that I was qualified for something, like whether it was like work related. Like there's a couple times where like opportunities for like to become a leader or something has come up, right? And I've been like, no, I'm not really interested in that area, and I'll use it as my reason, right? Versus really just not having that like confidence in myself of like, can I really do this? Am I capable? Do I have the skill set? Do I have the knowledge to like be effective? And like, yes, I can say those things like now when I'm not faced with that decision, but like in those moments, like fear for sure, like will creep in and be like, girl, you ain't ready for that, or like, you can't do that. You only been here for this long, or a huge part was because I feel like I started in my career so early that it was like a little bit of that fear of like, you so young, like you got time to like, like you got time to work now so that later you'll be able to take on like some of those bigger opportunities or whatever. But for me, I feel like it's that fear of failure of like, if I get in a role or if I take advantage of the opportunity, like, what if I'm not successful?
Got you.
So I feel like that's where like my fear sometimes creeps in. Just those like what if scenarios that like I feel like we can constantly like play in our minds, and I have to like literally stop myself in my tracks and kind of switch my mindset sometimes and kind of think like not the what if it don't or what if it goes wrong, and start to like ask myself like what if it goes right. Like,
glass half empty, glass half full type of thing.
Yeah, like really switching that perspective, because I'm like, what if it goes right? Like I done tried to come up with all the reasons why it could go wrong, but like I've come up with nothing of like why it could go right.
Let me ask you this: have you ever had the fear of success? Like it may go too right, and
nah,
and you just overcome with, I don't know.
No, I don't think I've ever. I don't want to say I want to say never, right? Like, because maybe I have, but not that I can like recall where I'm like I felt so confident about things. I'm like, yo, if this go well, this could really like take off or like blow it. Like I've had those thoughts, but never from like a fearful perspective. More like that might be like motivation.
Gotcha.
But like, yo, this could really pop,
crazy,
and like, yeah. So I've had like that as motivation, but I don't know that I've necessarily been fearful in that, because I think like my whole thing is always like, whatever I do, I want to be able to be proud of the work that I've done. And I even want others around me that are like closest to me, like my family, my parents, my husband, like, my legacy, to be able to be like proud, like, yeah, like that was Danny, that was my daughter, my wife, my sister, my mom, my whatever. Like I want them to be proud. So it's like the success aspect is like what I crave and like desire, but it's the failure part that I'm like, I don't want them to be like, yeah, my mama tried this one business and that junk was trash. Like
I ain't never know that about you. Like
that's the feeling.
You driven by like
that's
your motivational tactic.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
A lot of like, I'll even say like when I went to, so I've started my master's degree 3 times. Okay. Still ain't done.
But you gonna be done real soon.
Maybe. Started my master's degree.
No, maybe it's a sign of fear.
Sure.
So we're gonna cast it down.
That's fair.
We're gonna say it, and we're gonna be very forward thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to get it done. We don't know the time frame.
Absolutely.
But you're going to get it done.
Okay, I'll take that. I'll receive it. But I've started my master's degree 3 times, right? First time I started it was like right after undergrad. I was like, I'm going to go right into my master's. My best friend was doing her master's. I'm like, you doing it? I'm going to do it too. So we're going to be in this thing locked in together, right? Started it at my school that I went to undergrad. Super expensive private school. I was like, this is dumb. I'm about to add more debt to the student loans. Don't do that.
Definitely.
So I was like, took maybe 2 classes and was doing good in the classes and was like, nope, we gonna cancel that because we ain't about to add more debt, right? So stopped. Okay. Second time started. Was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna take my GRE because I'm gonna go to like a really good school, right? But I'm gonna like apply for scholarships and all these things. So applied, started school, and then it just kind of got like busy. Life got busy, and I was like, I'm good. I ain't gonna do it, right? Then me and Joe was going to school at the same time. He was working on his undergrad degree. I was working on my grad. So I'm like, all right, let's do it. Started doing it, and then I went to this conference. I went to Afrotech. For people who don't know, Afrotech is just like a black tech conference, basically. So I went to Afrotech. This is like 2 years ago now. Go to Afrotech. guys on stage. I want to say it was like the people from Earn Your Leisure podcast.
Okay.
Which, shout out to them because it's a dope pod. But Earn Your Leisure podcast, they were on stage. They're talking about just like their experience and how they got to where they're at and all these different things. And of course, they're talking about building wealth and all this kind of stuff, right? And so my mind is there, and I'm like, okay, starting this, or I'm doing this program, and I don't really love it. Like I'm doing it more so because the desire to make people proud.
Gotcha.
And in that moment, I was like, I ain't really doing this for me. So like, am I really doing this because I just want to make people proud, or am I doing it because I truly see the value in that? Like, it's cool to say, okay, I want to make people proud, but it's like I also have to go through the highs and lows of the experience. I also have to go through doing the work to complete the degree, and I'm like, to me, it didn't feel worth it at the moment. So I was like, I'm a dollar back. Could have been fear, right? Because again, fear manifests itself in different ways. It may look like excuses. It might look like trying to reason with yourself to kind of talk yourself out of something.
Yeah.
But in that moment, I was like, I ain't really doing this for me. I'm doing this so that, my parents can say, my daughter got a master's degree, because my parents didn't get the college education, right? So for me, it was always instilled in me of like, you got to go as far as you can, because at the end of the day, if you got education, that's like something can't nobody take from you, right?
Gotcha.
You earn them degrees, that's yours until you go to the grave, right? So that was like always instilled in me. And while I wholeheartedly understand why that was instilled, because they didn't have access and opportunities to do those things. And I have gone further than my parents have gone, but that's why I'm like, I don't know, because I'm like, if the master's degree is strictly for the purpose of saying I did it for everybody else, then to me,
it's not as fulfilling.
It ain't as fulfilling, and I don't want it.
Okay.
If it's for everybody. Because if that's the case, let them go get their degrees. If they want to be proud of yourself and go get your degree. You don't got to work me to the ground to be proud, right? If I do it, I want it to be for me. I want it to be because I've set my mind on this. I find value in it. I want to do it, and it makes sense for what I'm trying to do in my life.
Well, we hope that you,
which is still a possibility.
You come to that realization, like,
for sure,
I want to do it for me, and I'm ready to do it.
Yeah.
When you're ready to do it, that you just go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
And don't have no reservation about it. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
That's the prayer for me for you. You know what I'm saying? So,
I appreciate that.
I think for me, high school was such a painful experience of losing my dad in high school that when I got out of high school, I kind of jumped from college to college for a little bit. Didn't really know what I wanted to do. I wanted to do music, and I went to Full Sail for probably 6 months. Then I ended up going to culinary school afterwards. Then I went to business school. And then I was trying to do my engineering classes, which I really liked until they pulled their funding on the last minute and just super discouraged. I was already in class already, and they pulled the funding out of nowhere, financial aid, and it discouraged me to go back to school. So I'm hoping that eventually I'll be able. Then I became a truck driver, so that kind of filled my time for the last 12 years.
Okay.
So, but now I'm at the point now of I'm trying to continue to grow my business, but also I think I would like to go back to school and get my bachelor's degree or something.
Yeah.
Question though, so do you feel like then, like for you, where fear has kind of like manifested itself is from the, like you said, the like feeling of high school was a little traumatic for you, that you like school, you associate school with trauma in general?
I feel like sometimes school gives me anxiety. Just the fear of not being able to finish it, and sometimes I probably make excuses for myself why I didn't finish this course, or why I'm not doing my homework and something like that. It's like, so I see the finish line over there, but I don't know if I can make it over there. So that's just
like, you see like the distance that it take to get there, or like the hurdles that you might have to jump over to get there. That's real.
Well, I think the fear of the unknown is one thing.
Absolutely.
But I think what y'all doing now is talking through it.
Yeah.
To where sometimes, the Bible says you got to speak to yourself.
Yeah.
And when you speak to yourself, you can kind of see it, kind of make the road wider than what it was when when it's just a thought. So once you speak it, words have power. I'm a firm believer in that.
Absolutely.
Watch what you say. And I believe that with the words being so powerful, once you say, y'all want to do it, I think it's gonna give you a drive, it's gonna give you a determination. But I feel y'all on doing things that y'all want to do for yourself because it is a lot of money, it's a lot of time. But I think sometimes we confuse logic and fear. And I think your first situation, a strong logic, no loans. I don't want no more money. You
Look here, because if I go back, I'm not paying for it.
And your other path was, and your answer to that was to take the GRE. You know what I'm saying? But I think once you overcome, and I don't think it's really a fear thing with you. It's more so of internal wanting and desire for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't got nothing to do with. I don't think your school thing has anything to do with fear. It's just like, do I really want this? Do I really need it? You know what I'm saying? And if you don't need it, don't do it.
But it is a little bit of that. Potentially, it could be a little bit of that fear of the uncertainty, right? Of like, okay, so I get this degree. Now what do I do with it?
Yeah,
right? And like, is it going to make sense for like, again, where I'm trying to go in my career? Do I need it for one? Because like now in such a digital age, it's like, can I just get a certificate?
Yeah.
Can I just take a couple classes? Yeah. Can I just get the experience? Like, is there other ways, potentially better ways, faster? And maybe it's a desire to just do stuff quickly, you know, whatever, right? But like, are there different ways that I can reach the same goal without potentially even having to go the path of schooling? That's not to say that it's not important, but it was just, again, there's so many different options now. Yeah, there's alternate routes. There's different options now. And like, you know, there's certificates, there's boot camps, there's all these different things. And really just trying to figure out like, what is that long-term goal for me? Like, I think I'm still trying to figure that out. Like, part of me knows, but part of me is still trying to figure out like what that is. And like, from the like, you know, spiritual side, I know what that long-term, you know, future is and what that looks like. But from the like carnal side, if you will, or just like the natural side, right? Like, what does that look like? Because I don't even want to get into that topic, but I was going to say something else. But I just want to make sure that, like, from a financial perspective for my family, like, I'm good.
No, right? Yeah. I think one of the things that helped me overcome fear a lot is something my nana always tell me, like, you just got to take it a day at a time.
Yeah. Live in the moment. Be present.
Of course, one of the bigger fears is, of course, death. For me to lose another person, you know what I'm saying? A pivotal person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, like that's a big thing for me, especially like the way I lost my dad. So when somebody be like, yeah, I don't feel good, or I'm sick, I be on them like, all right, go to the doctor.
Check. Yeah.
All right, call me when the doctor get in the room so I can know.
Yeah.
Like, or let me ask the questions because you're not asking the right question. And I have to hijack the room. You know what I'm saying? Because for me, it's an insurance, you know what I'm saying? And these are people that I hold near and dear. And so I think to overcome that part of fear, I'm like, man, you just got to take it one day at a time.
Yeah.
And then you just got to be real with yourself, like, death gonna come.
Absolutely. That's part of life.
But you just got to keep living.
Yeah.
And love on the people that you're living with.
Yeah.
So that way when death comes, you don't feel somber and sad.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I mean, definitely having older parents, right? You know, older parents, grandparents for you.
Yeah.
You know, you think about those things more consciously now because you're like, anytime. You know what I mean? Like that could literally be anytime. Like,
but I will say, like, my mom had like a little small episode, and I did have a Holy Ghost boldness where I was like, all right, God, you took one. You can't take another one, not right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And even for another family situation.
For sure.
I was like, no, not right now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I ain't saying like
it's on my time.
It's on my time, but that gave me I think that was a measure of, okay, when you gonna activate the faith. You feel what I'm saying?
And I mean, there's a part of faith. Faith has to, or you know, faith cancels fear out.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like if we got that faith, then I can't have faith in God, but also have fear of like what does it, you know what I mean? Like
definitely
they can't coexist at the same time.
But it also speaks to how you building up your faith. Like I just thought of the whole concept of a bank. Like, you know, we go take money to the bank all the time.
Yeah.
So if you a baller, you got your bills on auto pay. You ain't got nothing to worry about. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's a baller move.
I ain't there yet. I'm gonna get there.
Yes.
But I ain't there yet. But I know okay, as long as I'm depositing something, when a bill comes, I can always go snatch it out. I ain't gotta lock my card or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I know it's gonna come. I can just wax it. I ain't worried about Apple coming in the middle of the night.
Like a thief.
Like a thief in the night. I can just wax it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But now, like, to make it spiritual, like how are we building our faith?
Yeah.
To where fear don't overtake us, and we got enough faith to pay for the debt of fear. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that was pretty good. I ain't gonna lie.
Pin that one, y'all.
But you know, like what measures are you building up with your faith?
Yeah.
And like I kind of repurposed my IG to where it's like I got all type of people following me: church people, non-church people, people who scamming around, people who do what they do. You know what I'm saying?
know?
So I just took the boldness and was like, I'm gonna try to post a little bit more God stuff.
Yeah.
So they can see it. You know what I'm saying?
Because there's a lot going on in this world. There's a lot going
on, and there's a lot of stuff to be fearful of.
Yeah.
But we don't have a lot of stuff driving our faith to be like,
that's true.
Okay, I can combat this. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that's the stance I've been taking lately.
I think for me, being in the hospital last year, I was scared.
Mm-hmm.
I never been in the hospital before, and my fever when I got there was like 106.
Something crazy.
But I told myself that even though I didn't want to go to the hospital, I told myself that I was gonna walk in. I wasn't gonna allow somebody had to come get me, take me. You know, I want nobody to go because I'm passed out or whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do it to my wife, so I was like, I'm gonna at least go to the hospital. And they couldn't figure it out for a second, and they just kept on just, you know,
running tests,
give me a bunch of Tylenol and this and that. I'm like, and then I had a moment with God. I was like, God, you got to get me out of here because I can't do anything because we was still in the process of building the sanctuary and this and that. I'm like, and I was taking like a leadership role in there, and I'm like I can't do anything, you know, for I can't do the kingdom work when I'm just in the hospital. This and
okay.
That. And I just thank God that I was able to walk out of there.
Yeah, that's a blessing.
Yeah.
So you was off the shuttle-in list, but now you back on because of your foot. Now you back on because of your foot. So
for sure. But I do want to go back to something that you said too, B, about like, you know, just trying to build more faith and for people, help people build their faith up because, you know, like you said, like there's so much going on in the world. It's a lot with just even the fear of current government and all these different stipulations and rules and executive orders and all the things and like and rightfully so, people have a little bit of reason to be a little nervous, a little scared, a little whatever, you know, but to, like you said, truly lean more into that like faith side of like, all right now, God, like at the end of the day, this your world.
I think even with that, like I see the stuff, but I don't pay it no mind. So I know who got me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so I pay attention to it, like the DEI stuff.
Know what's going on.
I'm tapped in for sure.
Be aware.
But even with me being tapped in, I'm not tapped in to the point where it's overcoming me.
Yeah.
To where I'm talking about it every minute of the day. Like,
okay,
we're gonna talk about it. Okay, now let's cry a river, let's build our bridge, and let's move on.
Yeah.
And let God do the work.
I had to catch myself for sure because like you can get so easily like wrapped up in it.
Yeah.
Because you reading articles, you getting the notifications, you seeing other people freak out and panic, right?
Yeah.
And that could like kind of creep over to you. And like you said, like just kind of being like, you know what, like I got no reason to fear. Like we done been through worse times as a country. We done been through worse times as a people.
I've been black for 34 years.
We done been through worse times as a people. We done been through worse times as a country. And not to say that this time is not, it ain't great. Nah, just be honest, it ain't great. But again, if God can, you know, keep us through those times and keep our ancestors, keep our family and our, you know, our elders through different situations that is way worse than now. Like surely this is like nothing.
Yeah,
you know, this is like
it's gonna be a cakewalk for God.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I think naturally you see it and you be like, all right, buddy.
But also we have to remember too that like, you know, this part of the plan, right? This could be part of the reason why God is allowing these things to happen, to be like, I need y'all to lean more on me. Mm-hmm. I'm showing you what I can allow to happen.
Definitely.
And what I can allow for the world to look like if you don't acknowledge me and if you don't have your faith in me, because otherwise you got your faith in man, you could see that junk crumble real quick.
No, and I just hate that us as believers, we're building platforms to talk about that, but not talk about the solution.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For most people who are faith-based, and I've seen their statuses, is it's causing a lot of chaos.
Yeah.
People arguing with each other
back and forth
with some true information, some he say, she say.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of how COVID was. You know what I'm saying? Like I can remember like working with somebody and people was like, "Yeah, we about to go into martial law. My cousin worked for the Pentagon and they about to bring the tanks out." And I'm like, "Your cousin did not work for the Pentagon." And if he did work for the Pentagon and he told you that, he would lose his job. So like you gotta take some stuff with a grain of salt. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't be overcome with it. You just gotta pray. Like, pray without ceasing.
Yeah.
Bible. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that's what we just gotta be as a people.
Yeah.
Like, just to build our faith. Like, we always preach about the tangible things, but it's the intangible thing that's gonna carry us.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at with it.
Have faith, trust God. You know, Bible talks about God does not give us a spirit of fear, but a power, love, and a sound mind. Right. And so that is more than enough confirmation and evidence that fear is not what God has predestined for us. He wants us to have a sound mind so we don't go crazy, worrying, stressed, overwhelmed, anxious, whatever, fearful about all the things that are happening in the world. Like, we don't know everything, and that's by design. Right? Because there's some things, if we knew, we'd really be having a fit. Right? So like, we don't know everything, but we have to trust in the God who does.
Yeah.
And know that like he got us covered. And whether things get worse or things get better, either way, he ain't going nowhere. God ain't going nowhere. You know, these other people, they in and out. 4 years. But God is still gonna be God after them 4 years is up. Definitely. And while them 4 years is happening. So we just gotta trust and believe that, you know, God got us. He watching out.
Now on the flip side, I know this guy is like hated, but he's fearless.
He is fearless. Take a page out the book.
Now, if you're gonna take a page out of his book, that's the page you take.
Well, take a lesson out of it.
First off, should not be politically sound, and to run for president, you gotta be bravery. You feel what I'm saying?
Courage.
Then to win twice,
and you don't have the credentials to technically be qualified. But he said qualifications of what? I'm over 35.
Exactly.
I'm an American citizen.
And I got money.
I'm a run.
I'm a run. And it's just like, I was just thinking,
I got popularity.
Like, dog is really like fearless. Like, you can call him 45 or 47, 45 or 47. He 45, 47. He's really like
all about the Benjamin.
He's really like fearless. And if people of faith would take that approach, how much more could we get done? Like,
you ain't gotta love him, but you can't doubt that the man got some courage in him.
Man.
He don't care about what nobody think or say about him. Like,
you know, and it's just like
he do his thing.
He do his thing, even though we don't agree with it, we don't like him, we don't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you just gotta call a spade a spade. Like, he's fearless.
Now, where he was fearful was to put his hand on that Bible.
No, facts.
The power of God probably would have shook him to his core.
You know what I'm saying? But it's just like that. If you take his fearlessness, you take childlike faith, put it together, what would you have?
You would have a super believer.
You feel me? So, yeah.
That was good. That was good. So, take a page out of this podcast here. Take a page out of this conversation, because truly, like, again, we're going to be faced with fear. You know, fear going to come and knocking on a regular basis. And again, that's by design, so that we can, again, lean into our faith and truly, like, show God that we trust you. Like, we can say that all day, but it's not until our actions show that that God truly says, okay, yeah, you say you believe me, but I also see that you believe me, and I see that you trust me. So be encouraged, right? You know, really try your best to, when you have those moments of fear kind of creep up, lean into your faith, lean into your prayer time, lean into your time in God's presence, and truly that will overpower any other spirit that's not of him that ever tries to creep in. So, you know, I know we can say all day it ain't a Christian podcast, but y'all, we believers. We love Jesus, and it's gonna come out every time. So
I ain't ashamed of that.
Feel it. You know, we feel it, and if y'all feel it, we appreciate that y'all feel it.
Sprinkle in there.
You know, we have to. That's who we are. Yeah. That's who we are, and it's always gonna come out. And if the fact that it comes out so naturally is an indicator of that's who we are.
Facts.
Because if it wasn't really
in
us, it wouldn't come out so easily.
That's very true.
There'd be lots of hesitation.
I just want like the non-believers to be able to checking on the podcast, but also get a good understanding of
absolutely
who we are.
No, facts.
And you never know. This might be the platform in which you think like, you know what? I'm gonna give this guy man a try.
Man, listen.
I'm gonna give him a try.
I'm praying for that.
Absolutely.
No, for real. Like it's the best decision you can make.
Yeah. So
and even if you got fear in that department, don't be afraid. You know what I'm saying? Like come in, learn what you can learn. You know what I'm saying, and take on the teachings, and you become a better person. Like I heard the saying, my pastor always say, it's better to have Jesus
and not need him
than not need him than to need him and not have him.
Come on now.
And so you know what I'm saying, like that's where I'm at with it. Like if I die today and I've been living this Christian life, and let's just say there's no heaven, no hell, I was just a good person.
I like that. I told somebody I told a non-believer that one time. Like, what's like?
You can't lose. You can't lose with him.
No lose.
If you got him, you can't lose with him.
No, yeah, man. No, I do believe in heaven and hell. So yeah, but
don't get twisted.
Don't get twisted. But if there was no heaven or hell and we just died and that was just it, like I feel like my life would have spoken. I honorable to my wife, take care of my kids, pay my tithes, great paying tithe member. Serve my church.
Spend time with the Lord.
Spend time with the Lord, you know what I'm saying? And even try to uplift and help people who have been, in places of turmoil and places of lack of understanding of things, you know what I'm saying? And so, I just think kudos to the Coles for even taking on this topic of fear, because it needs to be discussed.
Yeah.
It really does.
Absolutely.
I can't take all the credit from it. I was listening to Fear is Not My Future.
Yep. Ty Galbert.
Ty Galbert. Yeah, so it is crazy. I had sent that song to my wife this week for us to do at church, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, nah, we ain't gonna do it. But, it is a powerful song. Yeah, and it's just like, it's a declaration, like, fear ain't my future.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He is. So,
like you said, power in the words.
Power's in the words, man.
Yeah. So thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for listening. Again, we love y'all. We encourage y'all to stay faithful, stay leaning into your faith and away from your fear. Fight your fear with the word of God.
That's right.
Fight your fear with the word of God and what he says. And we'll catch y'all next time on the next episode. See y'all.